Oh, well, hey, man. Welcome back to my channel, honey. Listen, last night we had a wonderful chit chat, okay? And that's all that it was, a chit chat. I let you guys come on and share your thoughts. And I read a lot of your thoughts from the comments. Well, now I want to do my review and my walkthrough from the interview and give you guys my overall thoughts from the sit down that Miss Arionne had with Tasha K. Let's go ahead and get into it, boo. All right, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, honey. Go ahead and hit that like button while you at it, okay? As you come on into this room, be sure to hit that like button, okay? If you're not subscribed already, please go ahead and hit that subscription button. Okay, but let's talk about some things because this interview was very funny to me. It was hilarious. I think Tasha's live definitely went up and went crazy. It was good for the most part, right? It was good because of entertainment purposes, right? It was entertaining. I will definitely give it that. But Arionne, I really don't think that this interview really helped you. I don't think it got out your side or your story or anything that you were hoping to accomplish. I don't think it helped. If anything, I think you went further down the hole. I think you thought you were coming out like Groundhog's Day, but unfortunately, I think you went deeper down. Okay, I just don't think it helped you at all, but we'll go ahead and we'll talk about it. All right, so they start off with Tasha speaking on the show. Okay, on the show, milking Arionne's likeness. That was a big word that continued to play out throughout the interview. The term likeness, 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 my likeness, my likeness, my likeness, honey. That was something that just continued to play out over and over, the term likeness. She can't really say my image or anything because they didn't use her image. They didn't use her name, I don't think, until the reunion, if that. Okay, so they really didn't even talk about Miss Girl, to be honest. Okay, so there's that. That's why she kept saying her likeness. Arionne says that they are creating a false narrative on her behalf, as if she's a young, crazy woman chasing a married man. And I'm like, girl, here's the thing for me. Whether you're a young woman chasing a married man or not, it's something going on with her perception of this situation, okay? Something is definitely blurred between how, I guess, she experienced it and how she thinks we're perceiving it. I don't know. It's just, for me, it's like the thing she wanted to clear up didn't make sense as to why she needed them to be cleared up. Example, she says they're painting her as though she's a young, crazy woman chasing a married man. And my thing is this, it don't matter whether you was chasing him or not. The key thing is that you were involved, all right? So let's switch out chasing and let's put in the term involved with someone that was indeed married. And everybody, please understand that although Arionne is getting ridiculed at this time by a lot of people, understand that Martell gets his just due as well. It may come off as though everybody dragging Arionne. In this moment, she's getting dragged. But understand, Martell has had plenty of moments and probably will continue to have plenty of those moments where he is dragged for participating and breaking up his marriage. And I guarantee you people probably over there in his DMs, in his messages, in his comments right now, considering the fact that he told his wife, based on what Miss Arionne said during this interview, he told his wife that he wasn't going to choose between either of them. So I'm sure he is over there getting dragged, okay, at this very moment, right? So let's go ahead and just move on. I want Arionne to switch out the term chasing for involved, okay? Because, ma'am, at the end of the day, regardless of who did the chasing, you were involved with someone else's husband. Period. Okay. Now, Arionne tries to act like she doesn't remember how long Mel and Martell was married because, you know, Tasha was like, yeah, and they were together for what, 15 years? Because y'all was messing around for about what, 5, 6, 7, and they was together for about what, 15. And she was like, I don't know, girl, you know so much about Melody, but you do not know how long she was married to this man. Girl, stop playing with us. Let's keep going. Arionne says when they first talked, she never knew she was being recorded. And when we talk about when they first talked, that's Tasha. Tasha is talking to Arionne about how, you know, them talking on the phone and Tasha K getting audio. She used that audio on her page and it got over 500,000 views. Okay. It's probably 800,000 now. All right. It got tons and tons of views. And Miss Arionne says that she didn't even know that she was being recorded at that time because she was talking to Tasha K as though she and Tasha K were just like homegirls. Right. What else did she end up saying? She said that had she known that she was being recorded, she would have changed her story. She would have said something different. And I just feel like, girl, don't say nothing different. Say what you say. Say what you mean. Say how you feel. Say your words. Stand on it, girl, when you over there talking. Okay? So, I mean, ain't no point in changing nothing if that's what the truth is and that's what it is, then what we changing it for? Right. So then Tasha goes on to speak on Mel being terrified to do the interview. Now, when I heard this, I was thinking that Tasha was saying that she did a separate interview with Mel like recently because she said this is an exclusive. And I'm thinking that it was an interview she's done with Mel that's going to be coming out at some point. But as I went back and I replayed it, it sounds like what she was actually saying was it's exclusive for her to release this information that a lot of people didn't know. Tasha has already done an interview with Mel. I think it could have been last year or something. She's already done an interview, or year before last. She's already done an interview with Melody like a year ago. And in that particular interview, she said that Mel was really like extremely nervous to do this interview with Tasha K. So that, I guess that was the exclusive part that Tasha was speaking on, right? Tasha also calls out Mel for profiting off of a marriage that she says she is over. Okay. So if you're saying you're over the marriage, then why is you continuing to speak on the marriage and continue to talk about it? My thoughts on this is, girl, pay me for my pain, pay me for my time, and you could say the bull because everything is mine. So if I want to write a song about my trauma, why? I feel like Mary J. Blige could make a song right now about some shit that happened to her 8 years ago. And she probably gone, girl, it's going to go up. She's going to make a ton of money from it. Okay. So I feel like that's just what it is. She could be over it, I guess, and then be singing about it, you know? So I don't see anything wrong with her doing that. But I also understand that it can get annoying where it's like, girl, if you say you're over this, then be over it. Like, move on. Stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. But, I mean, you know, I understand where Tasha's coming from and where plenty of you are coming from because a lot of you guys feel that way. I understand where you guys are coming from, but at the same time, it's like that was a part of her life, too. So why is it that she got to stop talking about it and stop making money from it? Clearly, Martell ain't got a whole lot to give, so might as well profit and make you some money, okay? So there's that, right? And I also feel like, you know, Miss Arionne is used to people profiting and making money off of her, right? So she shouldn't be upset about that at all, considering the fact that she used her story to go over to Tasha's page and allow Tasha to profit. And Tasha gonna make bukus of money, boo, off of this. And you didn't even utilize your own YouTube page that you have to profit off of this and try and make some money or something, right? And what you ended up doing, Arionne, which you should not have done, in my opinion, soon as this interview was over with, and shortly after my live ended, you went over to your IG live, and at least that's when I saw it. Shortly after my IG live, I saw my YouTube live. I saw it on your IG where you were talking for free. It's like you already created this YouTube page. You already got these people going over there following you, right? You would have made a lot had you hopped on your own YouTube page, girl, and got those views over there instead of going back to your IG speaking over there. So you're still kind of like hustling backwards, okay? So there's that. I also feel like for Arionne, the first thing that's on my mind, I want to say it, you need to fade to the background. If you really want the situation to kind of die down, even just a little bit, you may want to fade to the background and just, you know, continue to be low key like you was in the very beginning until, you know, one of the YouTubers came out and dropped your name and everything in your images. Okay. So you might want to just fade to the background and just try to be low key as you can, girl. Don't speak too much more on this situation because it's not going to look good for you. It's just not. I feel like in time you probably can redeem yourself, but in this moment, no. I wouldn't do no more interviews, girl. I wouldn't do no more interviews, honey. But okay, let's keep going. So Arionne tells us that when it came down to how she met Martell, she says that she was 24 years of age at the time. She was fresh out of a relationship. And see, remember I told y'all that with this particular interview, I felt like she didn't tell us a whole lot, but she gave us a few tidbits. And I feel like this is part of those tidbits as far as how she and Martell came to be, how they got into this relationship. Okay. So she says that she was about 24 years old at the time. She was fresh out of a 5-year relationship with her ex. Okay. That happens to be her daughter's dad. When she ended up meeting Martell at his cousin's house, she went with her best friend. Her best friend happened to know these people. Okay. So she went to this event, and his cousin was the one that walked up to her, reached out to her, to get the information to take back to Martell. So that girl, Mel, girl, let me tell you something. Girl, I probably won't be talking to nobody in Martell family no more, baby. Like, we ain't got, if it ain't about the kids, I can't do it. Yeah, girl, not you over here contributing. You should have let him F up on his own all the way. That was some shady boots, honey, but let's keep going. So she says the cousin was the one that came up to her. She gave her the number, and the cousin ended up giving it to Martell. Arionne says that she didn't know anyone at the party but her bestie, and she also did not know that Martell was married. Nobody told her this. Shame on that mother cousin. Come to the front, whoever you are. Come to the front. Anyway, she says when it came to her and Martell, they ended up being friends first. That was something that was important for her. So they were friends at first. Nothing went down. She said the first time he met her, he was thinking that they was going to go to a hotel and get it in. What? Now I'm concerned. I'm concerned for Mel. I'm like, well, not anymore, because Mel is, she's divorced from him now. But I'm like, yo, what and who was the women you was messing with before you linked up with Arionne? Did you just think you finna just link up with this girl and go catch up with her at a hotel and stuff? Who was these other ladies? Is that your usual, your regular MO? Is that how you do things, knowing that you have a wife and you put her life in jeopardy because we don't know what kind of diseases or anything you may capture? Like, that's a lot. Let's keep going. And also, I want to know, Arionne, did Martell know you were about to do this interview? Because this interview also, it definitely didn't make you look good, but it definitely had us side-eyeing him even more as well. But did he know this? Did he say, yeah, I think you should do it? And some part of me feel like if that is the case, I could see Martell saying that, all because he wants to get back at Melody. And so I could definitely see that, like, yeah, you should do the interview. Go tell your truth. Go tell your truth. Okay, let's keep going. So Tasha lies and says that Arionne is a young chocolate and free version of Mel, more like wild. And Arionne said, girl, I'm not wild. I am spicy, but I'm not wild, okay? Out of all of my friends, I feel like I'm the one that's the more conservative. And that could be true. I don't know. That could be true, girl. That could be true. I don't know. But we don't know your other friends to be able to compare and contrast, okay? But we only know of what you've shown us on your IG. And a lot of the images that people have about you, it has nothing really to do with what Mel them said on the show or whatever, right? It's not really that. It's really how you come off and how you came off all last year when you were doing these audio recordings and everything and talking like you know so much and acting like without remorse and just like, you know what I'm saying? Like you just thought you was like that girl, untouchable, da-da-da-da-da. Yes, everybody want to talk. Everybody talking about me. Everybody talking about Arionne, da-da-da-da-da. Like you came off with this rawness. And that's what made people not want to like you instead of you just being quiet. Right? When your image first got dropped and other stuff got dropped, you could have just continued to play in the background. You know what I'm saying? Like, I apologize or whatever, like, or I didn't mean to do this or that. I didn't know I was going to mess up a family. Like, I don't know. It wasn't really a whole lot you really could have said, knowing that you was messing with this man for years. Okay, let's add the S on the years, honey. Okay? Wasn't a whole lot that you could have said. But at the end of the day, just understand that a lot of people are not liking you because of you. Because of you. Some of it, yes, is because of the situation, but a lot of it is also because of you and how you've come off, right? And that has nothing to do with what was shown on the show because we didn't even see you on the show. A lot of people got their perception from you based on the clips and things that were floating in the audio that was floating around about you. And then it was giving clout chaser as well. You wanted to be in on this moment just as much as you felt they were speaking on you in that moment. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Okay. What else ended up happening? She says that before they even crossed the line to have SCX or anything like that, she says that she and Martell talked for eight or 9 months. So that's how long they talked before she ended up crossing the line. But from what I'm understanding, she had finished school. So I believe she finished her degree, whatever her degree was in. And when she went to Alabama A&M, from what I was understanding, she finished school and then she went back home to Ohio. And at some point, I guess she must have moved back down to Huntsville. And that's from my understanding, y'all, as to when she started that nursing career, when she came back down. That's what it sounds like to me. So it sounds like she did finish the degree. But again, that was a little fuzzy as well. I thought she got her degree from Alabama A&M. What else did I want to say about that? So when she stepped away for that time frame, when she went back to Ohio, that right there made me believe that that's one of the reasons why she and Martell never crossed the line, because she was never in Huntsville for that to happen. 8 to 9 months. Okay, that's what I captured from it. That's what it sounded like to me. So let's keep going. She also goes on to let people know that she's not a floozy. Okay. I guess you want us to believe that you're not around here sleeping with everybody and doing all this extra stuff, and that's fine. And you don't have to be a floozy to be messing around with somebody else's husband. You know what I'm saying? Okay. At the end of the day, you may not be a floozy, but you still was a mistress and you still was somebody's side piece. Somebody who actually referred to you as a peasant. Okay. So there's that. Let's keep going. What else we got? So then Tasha asked her, she asked her if she felt as though Martell likely like manipulated her or had taken advantage of her. And Miss Arionne went on to say that she was green to a lot of stuff. It was a lot of stuff that she just was not privy to, right? And she said that it could be possible. She says that she was fresh out of a relationship. That's when we learned about her and her daughter's dad, okay? So she said she was green to a lot, and it was very possible because, of course, Martell was an older guy. He was older than she was, so and she was young-minded, right? So the real answer is yes, girl, at the end of the day. And then you ended up kind of explaining and opening and being honest, because when you said, oh, well, I tried to walk away, times when I tried to walk away, I remember him coming to my house saying, oh, I don't even have to come in. He just gets down on his knees and looks up at me with puppy dog eyes, and I took him back. Girl, that's manipulation. Okay, that's manipulation. That's a play on your feelings or your emotions, your heart. That's manipulation. Okay, yes. And was he taking advantage? Absolutely. If he's in another marriage, if he's in a marriage with somebody and he got you on the side, that's him taking advantage of having access to you while he's in a whole marriage. Yes. Why are you dibbling and dabbling around that particular question? It's because you're still seeing Martell. And if that's what you're doing, that's fine. You ain't got a lot to kick it now. Now you ain't got a lot to kick it. Now you can just keep it a buck, okay? Like Chuck. Let's keep going. So then Tasha asked when she found out he was married, okay? When did she find out he was married? She said, somewhere within those 8 to 9 months. It seems like, number one, she really didn't want to answer the question. That's the first thing. Okay. She really didn't want to answer the question, but she goes on to say somewhere in the, 8 to 9 months, somewhere in that time frame, because I started to hear stuff. About Martell and stuff like that. So, I decided I was going to go and ask him. I went and asked Martell, I was like, hey, I'm hearing that you married or whatever. And she says that when she heard the information, he confirmed. He told her, yes, it's true. He was married, but he did not elaborate, go into further detail or anything. And I said, that's because you didn't ask enough questions. In addition, and by this time, you was in love with this man. You was crazy about him, happy about everything that he was doing for you, because obviously your friends probably wasn't getting that same treatment. Okay. And you didn't want to mess that up. So you was just going to let it slide, let it be what it is. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That's between him and his wife. It's whatever, whoop the whoop the whoop. As long as you continue to, throw money at me, buy me stuff, do this and that, give me enough so I could go around and flex with my friends, then, I'm good. That's what it sounds like. Okay. And she did admit to and said that by that point she was emotionally invested in him. So she didn't really care about all of that. Right. Yeah. So she also goes on, she says that, he never led her to believe that he would leave his wife. But she also said, even though he never led her to believe that he would leave the wife, she also never cared. She never asked or wanted him to, like, you know, leave her or anything. So that wasn't a big deal for her. What else did she say? She says that he did always feel bad, though. Girl, bye. She says that I never asked Martell, like Martell never led me to believe that he was going to ever leave Melody. But he did always feel bad for putting her in that situation. Bye. He felt bad for putting her in that situation, yet he continued to be in that situation over and over. And according to your words, turned around and told this woman that, oh, I'm not choosing between you nor her. What? Girl, that man did not feel bad. That man felt like a king. Let Martell tell it. He felt like a king. All right. She says that when her and Martell began to bump heads, they started to bump heads when she wanted to be out of the situation. Okay. When she wanted to be out, that's when they started bumping heads because he really didn't want to let her go. He wanted to keep what it is that they had. Arionne said she was wearing things and she was hearing things. And that's when she asked him about the marriage and stuff. And that's when he ended up coming out telling her the truth. She says that he didn't give her a lot of detail. And I've already talked to you guys about that part. Okay. So she basically says that she chunks everything up to being a dumb 20-year-old. Stop saying 20-year-old when you were 24 years old when you met this man. And by that time, when you really fell in love and everything, girl, you was damn near 25. So you was in your mid-20s. Stop sitting up here acting like you was just a dumb 20-year-old when a lot of this was happening around you being the age of 25. And at the end of the day, you know right from wrong, girl. And you already knew what you were doing and that it wasn't right because you were hearing the rumblings like, girl, that man married, girl, that man married, girl, that man married, girl, that man married. And you still decided to move forward in whatever the situation was that you had with him. So much so that you didn't even care about asking this man to leave, you know, to leave his wife or whatever. You didn't care about that. So here we are. What else did she say? She says she chunks everything up to her being a dumb 20-year-old when we know she was in her mid-20s. And what else she said? And now being older and knowing better, she knew that she was out of line. Okay, now that she's in her 30s and stuff, she's chucking it up to, oh, now I'm in my 30s. I know better. Girl, you knew better a few years ago when you decided to go ahead and have this baby by this man and you got pregnant by this man 3 times according to your word. Okay, that is a whole lot. So don't be trying to act like where you are now. Oh, I know better. I know that wasn't right. But then when it comes down to, yo, are you willing to give an apology for any act that you may have played in messing up this family or whatever? It's no. I accept accountability, but no, I'm not willing to apologize. And you might as well keep the accountability as well, is what I'm thinking. But okay, so y'all let me know y'all thoughts now. Now, Arionne says he was there for her and when she had no one else. When she had nobody else, Martell was showing up. And I feel like that means he was there for her financially. He was there for her financially and just had to have, and just so happened to have a good piece of peen to go with it. Okay. Now, Arionne says that Martell complained about a lot, but she didn't think a woman should have been cheated on. Talking about he complained about a lot. I'm sure he did. I mean, how many women is messing with a dude that got a woman and he not complaining about the woman? Of course, he got to say something to make him feel justified in his actions for stepping out on his wife and his family. Duh. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, he's gonna portray it up as though he happy. He doing all that big talk about not being happy, but also not leaving. And he was so unhappy. But as we've seen on the show, he pulled up to a restaurant. He pulled up to a restaurant to mess up his own business meeting to run after this woman to see what she was doing. The same woman that he tried to sit up here and like he wasn't happy about. The same woman he tried to sit up here and say was cheating on him and doing all this other extra stuff, child. Girl, you can believe Martell lies if you want to, but guess what? I hate to say it. I feel like it's your turn now. All that stuff Melody had been saying that you probably was not believing or whatever, girl, it's your turn now. But let's keep going. So 2015, right? So we get to 2015. I wish it would have been a better way of going about the timeline of things. But overall, you know, I feel like Tasha's interview was pretty good, even if Arionne was regurgitating a lot of things that she's already told us and sprinkling in a few tidbits that was new, right? I still enjoyed the interview. 2015, she speaks on the day that she found out She speaks on the day when Melody found out who she was. Arionne says that she never told her to put Martell on the phone. That's the first thing she said. She says that she was on a date. So at this point, she was really just trying to move on and move forward with her life. He was the one that was calling her phone. So all she was doing was really just calling him back. So Arionne says on TV, they making it seem like I was just calling him and calling him and calling him, and I wasn't, but he was calling me. So I was just returning his call and calling him back. I'm like, do it matter, Arionne? Does it matter, dear heart? One time too many. Does it matter if he was blowing you up and you was returning his call? What are you trying to clear up here? What does it matter? What are you trying to clear up? So she says the producers are portraying her as a mad, angry woman. Nobody was not portraying you like that. But at the end of the day, you're saying that they're portraying you as a mad, angry woman, but then you lead the conversation saying, I didn't tell Mel to not put Martell on the phone. And then you turn around and say, well, I didn't say effing. I didn't say put Martell on the effing phone, but you still said put Martell on the phone. So at the end of the day, whether it's angry, mad, angry woman, it don't matter. We can remove mad and angry and put disrespectful ass woman. So is that okay for you? Is disrespectful, it's okay for you? Okay, and keep in mind, Arionne, it's not just you that's getting this work, girl. Y'all are getting shared work, okay? Martell is getting snapped on and cussed out as well as you, okay? Y'all both partook to parent, okay? Both of y'all took parts in this action, okay? So both of y'all are getting dragged accordingly. It is what it is, okay? So she also goes on to say that she'll take full responsibility for her actions. But I ain't apologizing for Woo, child. Let's keep going. So Arionne, okay, what we learned is, Tasha said, outside of the beautiful son that you have now, how many times have you been pregnant by Martell? Because remember, we only knew of one. Right? We heard about her having an abortion at another time, and then here it is, she has this child. Arionne lets us know that she was pregnant by Martell 3 times. Okay? The first time she said was a miscarriage. The second time, it was her decision. He didn't force her to make a decision on the child. It was her decision to not have that child, and he was the one that chose to pay for it. And then goes on to say that she ended up getting pregnant, with this child at a later time. But the first time when she had that abortion, she and Mel were actually pregnant at the same time, from what we're hearing. So it sounds like the last time for the baby that Mel had prior to the little one, Boss Baby is what I captured. When Mel was pregnant with Boss Baby, Arionne is saying that she too was pregnant, but that child she ended up getting rid of. And then at a later time, Mel got pregnant, and Mel ended up getting rid of that child prior to having the final child that she has now. And I just feel like, bro, why are you telling Arionne so much of your wife's business? Now, if the shoe was on the other foot, you would be trying to go crazy up in that house if Mel would have told another man your business like that. Why is you telling this lady her medical stuff? That is so just like... Is it enough? Is it not enough that you over here fucking her down every chance you get? That you got to tell her what's going on with your wife too? Ooh, child. Let's keep going, honey. What else we got? Arionne says that Martell told Mel that at one point he wasn't going to choose when it came to her and him. Her and her. When it came to Arionne and Mel, he wasn't going to choose. And then Arionne says that Melody decided to go forward and stay in the situation another 3 years. Whew, girl. And then she tried to sit up here and clown the woman for staying there for another 3 years. Because I just feel like, granted, that is like, girl, you could have been left. But at the same time, she got 3 kids with this man. They done built up an image. They done built up a family. It probably wasn't as easy for her to want to, walk away. Right? Just like it clearly wasn't easy for him to want to walk away. Even after she done divorced him, he's still over here running amok in the palace too. So neither one of them really fully wanted to let it go. But that last straw in that camel, okay, when he was over there breaking your back in, that was the last straw that broke the camel's back. And that's when Miss Girl said, oh, no, I'm out. You're not going to continue to play with me over here. I've done enough and I'm done. So there's that. So if anything, Arionne, you should be grateful for the TV show. You should be happy because it did expose a lot. Okay, it exposed the fact that, he was cheating with a woman that happens to be you. But even with that, it resulted in Mel getting a divorce from this man. So now you can frolic around and do whatever you want with this man, right? And it's crazy that y'all went through all of this behind the scenes and portrayed as though y'all probably was a couple, but then now y'all have the actual opportunity to be a couple. Y'all over here acting like y'all don't want to be with each other. Go ahead. Go ahead. You was doing that not too long ago, right? Go ahead. Do your thing. Do your thing. Go ahead, honey. So Arionne says that the reason that she and Martell are not together, y'all get into this. The reason they not together is because they're damaged. And that's part of the reason why they not together now. I said, and who damaged that? Who damaged that? And then the way she said it made it seem like to me that Martell does kind of want to be with her though. That's what I'm getting. Like Martell may still want to be with her, but it's just too much damage. She said, my thing is this. My thing is this, Tasha. I can't separate reality from TV. Like how we are during the week. You know what I'm saying? How we are together, and then we watch the show. Then like what is happening? Like I can't separate what happens on Saturday night. So what that gave me when she said that is me and him be together all throughout the week, acting like we a family, whoop whoop whoop, da 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 da. And then when I watch the show, I see him and his antics and the fact that he really ain't over Mel. That's what it sounds like to me. I see what's happening because they don't talk about you all the time. Let's not act like you was a topic of conversation this season because you weren't. You came into play during the reunion, and that was really because we have not had a reunion since like season 1. So that's the reason why you really came into play. Let's not act like you just really been on TV. You've been talked about subliminally or whatever, or your likeness, as you like to say. My likeness was talked about throughout it wasn't that, girl. Okay. So the interactions that you probably have saw, just like the rest of us see, is the fact that Martell really not over Mel for real. And that's what it was giving. You're having a hard time separating what you see on TV between he and his ex-wife and what y'all be out here portraying throughout the week. But y'all let me know how y'all dissected it and what y'all thoughts are, okay? So she goes on to speak on the show. She thought she was going to be on, she said, well, I thought the show was going to be about real estate when I first heard. She says that the producer, she said, now Mel and Martell was supposed to end up getting a divorce, but the producers came to them and told them to fake it. And I'm like, interesting. I wonder if that's really true, or I wonder if that's something Martell told you. Because you like to take his word for bond so much. So, yeah, she said, and once they greenlit the show, the producers told them to fake it. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm wondering if it wasn't from the true producers. Is that something Martell told you, or did you get that from the producers themselves? Which one was it? Okay, because it's definitely giving Martell told you that to give you something else to string along, I guess. And even with that being the case, they faked it so much that they got another baby out of it. Yikes. No, that man was over there trying to fix his marriage. Okay, that's what that was. And he just told you that to stretch you out just a little bit longer. Anyway, so she says that they are creating a false narrative around my likeness. I'm like, how are they creating what is false? What's false? Let's get to that part. What's false? What's not true? What's not true? Did you or did you not mess around with this man that was married, that you were aware of being married from the moment within the first 8 months of you knowing him? It's true. Is it true? Oh, okay, then. Thank you. So then what is the false part? Where are we getting false from? Where are we getting false? Where's the falseness? Exactly. Let's keep going. She says that her family is mad because they see his actions differently. They mad because how they see him versus how you be running over there talking about him. You look like a fool. That's why your family mad. Your family is mad and they're disappointed. They love the hell out of you, but they also feel like all of this could have been avoided a long time ago. Okay, so there's that. And I'm not gonna lie, her son Knox is so freaking adorable. Like that baby, I don't care what nobody say, hate this woman, however you want to feel, that little baby is beautiful, right? But I also wonder if this was a type of get back. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I mean, I'm wondering, was this like some type of get back thing that you had going on? You was mad. You was so envious or so mad at Mel for whatever reason that when you got pregnant with him, you decided to keep this one too. Okay. Well, let's keep going. And I could have sworn I thought Martell wanted her to abort this one too. Didn't we hear something like that? And she wasn't going to do that? Or maybe it was just the DNA. Either way, girl. Okay. Okay, let's keep going. So when it comes down to it, Arionne was saying that she grew up earlier in the interview. She was talking about how she grew up in like a 2-parent household. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, she grew up with her mom and her dad, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. That's how I'm understanding it, because that's how she led off the conversation. Like, you know, and I get that. I would never want nobody to, break up their family, because I lived in a 2-parent household too. And I'm just like, okay, because that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you lived in a 2-parent household, and then quickly we learned that Arionne does not know the difference between 2-parent household. Okay, so when Tasha was trying to talk to her, Arionne was like, no, 2-parent, right? So I don't know what the question was Tasha was asking her, but it involved 2 parents being in the household. And Miss Arionne, all her life, that's 30-some years old, have always thought 2-parent household meant in 2 separate houses. Girl, 2 parents in 2 separate houses, that's a 2-parent household. Girl, I'm hollering the ghetto. Do you hear me? Okay, I'm like, no ma'am. And again, y'all know how we do on this channel, girl. That's how we gonna say it from now on. 2-parent household. And y'all better not say it no different. Let's keep going. So she spoke on him coming to Ohio and how he spent time with her in Ohio. And Tasha was like, well, girl, what's the longest that y'all have spent time, together? She was like, like 4 days. I'm like, 4 days? Whew, girl, that sound like one of them Marlo business trips for 4 days. That sound like them type of business trip that Marlo be taking. Okay, so I guess Martell was on a 4-day business trip too, and that's the only time that you got throughout the entire so many years that you've been with this man. Girl, I guess. So let's go ahead and move on. So Tasha asked about the image of the guys. I said, yes, Tasha, let's get to it. Let's not waste time, girl. Let's get to it. Let's ask, okay? So she asked about Martell and Maurice, and then she also said somebody named RHOA or something like that. Some other guy being in the image with them, right? And of course, Arionne has already told us a long time ago that she was the one that took that photo of the guys in the club. She also opens up and talks about the linebacker, but did not really want to go into much detail about the linebacker. Somebody, it's just a comment that she and that me and my girls have or whatever like that. Girl, we know you're talking about a tall, wide back woman, period. We know that's what you're talking about. But anyway, so Arionne says that before she really got into that, she says that people be dragging her. I'm like, who's dragging? Ain't nobody dragging you. If anything, at the reunion, all Marlo said was, I've been able to witness the interaction between Arionne and Martell. That's it. That's all he really said. He's witnessed the interaction and how it's just so different, the interaction between you. He ain't nobody drag you, girl, but you dragged yourself into this because it does look like you want a moment. I'm not even gonna lie to you, okay? So Arionne says they drag her. But like I said, I don't think the guys dragged her, but I think Martell dragged you when he called you a peasant. And nobody asked him that. That was unwarranted. He said that. Okay. She confirmed that they were feeling on other women, though. She did confirm that. They was feeling on other women. She says that she can't confirm whether or not they shared bedrooms, but put 2 and 2 together, you already know what actually went down when they had women there. Okay. Now that part I do believe. Okay. They were smashing some other women while they were there. They probably didn't let them stay overnight at the doggone Airbnb, but they definitely brought them back and some things went down. So there's that, okay? She says that the guys have told her that the producers forced them to speak on her. So she's still in communication with the guys. And when she say the guys, I'm hearing Maurice, I'm hearing Martell. I'm hearing Marlo. So these are the guys that are still interacting with you. Kimmy, it's a no shade, but you might want to side I'm Maurice. Maurice, the same person that sat up there and said that he's not leaving the room. So if you know this is a side chick that has caused, friction, and now Martell's baby mama, you still over here interacting with her. So Martell, are you still having the guys around this woman? Hell, I guess you can. I guess you can now. I guess you can still have them around her or interacting or talking to her because, it ain't like you and Mel married now. So now you free to do whatever it is you want to do. Anyway, What else? Martell told Arionne about male's abortions and, or abortion or whatever like that. And I talked about that because I ain't really like it. What else she said? This is what Arionne said as she's getting ready to close out her interview. She tells the producers that she would like for them to stop using her likeness. Here's the thing, like, you keep talking about your likeness, but your likeness, unfortunately, is connected to other people that created this show. Hey, Martell. Hey, Melody. How are you? Okay, it's connected to them. It's a part of their story. It's a part of their past. It's a part of their life. So if they're going to talk, if they want to talk about it, they're going to talk about it with their friends. Okay, just like Mel is not a part of your life. Okay, yet you still feel the need. You sit up here using Mel's likeness in this interview talking about her. And then going onto your IG and you're saying subtle things about her there too. Okay, so what's not clicking, Steven? What's not clicking? So there's that. She also feels like it is personal. Girl, it's personal with who? It's personal with me and Oprah. I said, not you beefing with Oprah. So you beefing with Oprah? Because this is on her network and this was somebody that you look so highly at, you looked up to and all this other stuff. Oprah not even over this show. Carlos is definitely over it. Okay, he is producing it and it's on the Oprah Winfrey network, but Oprah sold it. So what else is going on? Oprah not gonna call Carlos and say, hey, put her on this show? No. She gonna call him and say, I don't know what you're doing, but continue to do it. It seems like your show is a hit. Congratulations. I'm gonna go ahead and move on, okay? I just called to give you my thoughts and give you my thank you from the 10% that I do own in the company. Girl, go ahead. Let's move on. So she says she wants people to stop using her likeness to carry the weight of 6 people. They're not. They're not. And that lets me know that, number one, you're self-centered as hell. And number 2, you don't even watch the show like you should. And number 3, you just feel like you're so deserving. And that's what I don't understand. Did y'all see her face crack when she said, yeah, I was supposed to be a part of the show, but that didn't happen. Why? Because was you running around telling everybody that you probably was going to be a part of the show? Or is that the reason you was coming out last year or whatever year it was when you was doing all these audio messages and stuff? That was your whole point of doing a lot of talking in hopes that they would snatch you up and bring you onto the show. I feel like had you played your cards right at that time and not said a whole lot of nothing, and instead of giving out information, allowing the network to come to you, then you probably would have got the chance to be a part of the show. Okay, so I feel like this has ruined it, but we're going to keep going. So Tasha asked Arionne if she would like to apologize, right? She says she isn't interested in apologizing because they won't put her on the platform because they build up. Basically, they're using a platform to build up one woman while they're tearing another woman down. So no, I'm not going to apologize. But here's the thing, Miss Arionne, you're making this all about a platform in television, which can't help but make me think that you are seeking some type of clout recognition and all of that, right? But at the end of the day, let's remove the show and let's focus on the actions, okay? You stepped into a marriage, and granted, not by yourself. This man gave you room to do that, right? And you sat in this interview and said, in your 20s, I'm saying in your 20s, even though you said at 20, okay? I'm saying in your 20s. All right. You sat and said that you didn't know better. Now you're in your 30s and you're saying you do know better. And looking at it, hindsight, you don't feel that you owe this woman like an apology. Maybe not now. I mean, I guess you feel like, oh, she writing songs about you and all this other stuff. But the act is still the same. That woman is now the mother to your son's siblings. So you don't even owe any soft apology or nothing. Oh, okay. And I would have even respected it more if she would have said, yeah, but I think that's going to be a conversation that Melody and I will have in private. Like, just like that, instead of, and I think she probably got to that, but immediately it was like, no, because this platform, because of the things they said about me on this platform and all this other stuff. I'm like, where? Girl, it could have just been like, I'm sure Melody and I, that's all you had to say. I'm sure we can get to that place of an apology. I think that's going to end up being a private conversation between she and I. Absolutely. And then y'all could have moved on to something else, girl. You don't have them all. Let's keep going. So then Arionne says that she brought the hairstylist and her friends to her home, right? So she started to go and say, oh, it's a lie. It's a lie. So then, everybody's like, well, what's a lie? Tasha said, what's a lie, girl? Let's tell us. So she said she brought hairstylists and people to my home. Tasha said, oh, so you think that she was trying to fight you or something? Is that what was happening? And then she says, what do you think if you bringing people to my house, like, what do you think is going to like really go down for real? Like, I would have thought she was trying to fight. Like, girl, let's be clear. She brought the people to your house to do what? You've been out here speaking so loudly when it comes to this woman who she cheated with, what she was, what abortion she had or whatever. You were so vocal about this third party information. So why is it when it comes to stuff that you've witnessed, when it and other people, you're being delicate with what you say? Just be like, yeah, she brought some chicks to my house trying to fight me, girl, yes, and that's why I don't rock with that lady. I'll never apologize to that lady. I don't care. She want to be mad at somebody, girl, be mad at Martell, but don't be mad at me because I did what I did. I said what I said. Like, okay, right? Just at least say that. We still wouldn't like you, but you know, whatever. So anyway, so she says that she should have checked the man and not her. Arionne thinks that Mel's likeness isn't good enough to carry the show. I disagree. I'm sorry. And y'all can feel like, oh, you team Mel too much. I don't give a what. Period. Okay? I don't give a this woman created this show. All right? She's the front runner. The show is centered around her and her ex-husband, girl. So that's all the enough likeness that they need. Even if this story would have never came to light, she still was going to be enough to carry the show. And you over here talking down about this woman, talking about her likeness ain't enough to carry the show. Well, unfortunately, your likeness ain't even enough to get you on the show. So then what are we talking about now? So let's keep it going. So then Tasha calls Mel or pretends to call Mel. Girl, I said, Tasha, you know you trifling and you wrong for acting like you got to call this lady, girl. Arionne got extremely flustered. She immediately picked up her phone like, girl, I don't want to talk, girl. She started dialing whatever number she could dial on that phone, honey, because she like, girl, somebody gonna have to answer me today, honey, because I am not about to sit up here and be a part of this, honey. I don't know if she was reaching out to Martell or what, but she was not trying to have a conversation with Melody. Why? You thought Mel was gonna cuss you out or something? What was you so afraid of? You say a lot of stuff on your IG live. So I'm surprised you didn't have the energy of call her. I don't care. Call her. I want you to call her in this interview right now. Call her, put on the phone. And I'm gonna tell her the same thing that I told you. You ain't get no apology from me. Okay, and if you want to be mad at somebody, be mad at your raggedy spin, period. Okay, yeah, nah, that's not the same energy that you gave that you be giving on your lives. All right, you was a little flustered. So Arionne speaks on Mel capitalizing off the side chick song. She called me a side chick. At this point, I feel like it's capitalizing. Yup. And this video capitalizing too, girl. Everybody just capitalizing, and it's sad because so many people are capitalizing, yet you have yet to capitalize off yourself. That's the only part. You gotta learn something from this. Okay. Arionne says that she isn't willing to make peace because a lot has been done to her. If anybody shouldn't be willing to make peace, I feel like it should be Mel. But let's keep going. She says that Mel wanted to discuss this. But if that's her truth and her show, oh yeah, she said something about Mel was the one that brought it up to the show because she wanted to discuss this. And I'm saying if that's her truth, and this is her show, then why can't she talk about something that she experienced in her life, even if it does involve you? She didn't even say your name. Somebody else brought your name to the forefront. Another YouTuber brought you to the forefront out the woodworks. That was somebody else. So then she thinks, Arionne goes on to say that she's the storyline. Okay. I disagree. She feels like she's the storyline. I'm like, no, I feel like their marriage is the storyline. Or that what their marriage used to be. Them co-parenting is the storyline. Their divorce is a storyline. You're not the storyline. Okay? On this show, Maurice and Kimmy's issue was their son and Maurice's lack of sharing information. That was their storyline. Marceau and Tisha. Marceau never listening to Tisha at all. Okay, feeling like he doesn't have to take advice from anybody because they're not accomplished enough to him. And even if they are accomplished enough, hey, Dr. Francis, how are you? He still feels like he's the head man in the kingdom and don't nobody owe him any advice or he don't have to take no advice from nobody or whatever. That was their storyline. Okay, on top of whatever drama Miss Wanda want to throw in there too. That was their storyline. So how were you the storyline? Cut it out. You're giving yourself too much credit. Arionne says that Mel had been seeing their attorney. And this is the other problem that I have is when she starts speaking on stuff so confidently as though she was there. This is information you're hearing from someone else. That's the problem. Okay, own producers called her and told her to shut up. That's basically what she was saying about when she started talking about the guys and what was happening and the image and everything that took place in Atlanta. She said she pretty much got a phone call from one of the producers. I'm saying, let's see if we could get you on the show. But to her, she felt like that was a way of them telling her to shut up. You're right, it was. They don't want you talking. They want you to be quiet, Miss Girl. Okay. So Arionne says she wants to film, but doesn't, because they have been playing her for 3 years, because she's been thinking she was going to be on the show and it never happened. She says that she and Martell filmed a conversation. Martell came up with the idea for them to bring up a DNA test so that it could be a part of the storyline in the next season in hopes of probably getting her on the show. So that's what it sounds like Martell was trying to finesse some stuff. And I feel like that was messed up. As much as he be running after and running down after Mel, you would bring this woman onto a show, even though she your baby mama, knowing this woman not really trying to have her on the show on a platform that she created. Let's keep going. So Arionne, says that she knows she can't be on the show. She'll never be able to be on the show. And that's because Melody doesn't want her on the show. Mel said, if she films, I'm not filming, period. So I don't know how y'all could be mad at her for saying that. I don't know how y'all could be mad at her. It ain't like they're good friends. It's not like Real Housewives of Salt Lake City where everybody came in together and then like Meredith gets mad at Jen and then turns around and says, don't have me around if she's going to be around. Then don't be on the show because you guys are an ensemble cast and you're primary cast members, right? Then don't be on the show, Meredith. But that's not the same situation over here with Love and Marriage Huntsville. Mel didn't come in with it with her. She didn't center this show around her. It's supposed to be about her and her friends and their relationships. Okay, so there's that. Arionne lets us know that what did she say? Arionne, she said that Martell reached out to her at the reunion part 3 and how he wanted to do a FaceTime, but she told them no because she felt like they was going to try to use that for the show. And I guess she not capitalize or make anything off of it, when honestly, she'd rather be on the show versus just being seen through a phone or heard through a phone. Okay. She also goes on to let us know that she's writing a book and that it will be dropping in the spring. What you finna tell us? What you finna talk about? Girl, let me tell y'all, I don't think that book finna be nothing about her, like her life or nothing. Honestly, I feel like that may be like a children's book or something, like a family book. Like, I don't know. I just don't see it being a whole lot. She wouldn't tell us what it was going to be about or what the name was going to be because she felt like Melody was going to go and turn around and make a song about her. Yikes. What else? She kept talking about it. She kept talking about him pursuing her. That was the thing for me. She just kept talking about how Martell was the one that was pursuing her. And I just feel like it doesn't matter. You bit the bait. Okay, let's move past the pursuits and let's get to you being involved, because that's where we are now. Okay, that's what you was doing. You was involved with this person. So it is what it is. And then she also kept talking about carrying the show. And I need her to understand that you're not carrying the show. You're not even on the show for you to carry it. So I think that conversation, in my opinion, should definitely be deaded. Right. But overall, I think the interview, she gave us some stuff. It wasn't a whole lot of stuff that we did not know. It was just stuff that we finally heard come out of her mouth by way of other people's mouth. You see what I'm saying? But outside of that, I mean, like, it was cool for what it was. I definitely enjoyed the full entertainment. I had a wonderful time hanging out with you guys last night with a little chit chat and just reading you all's comments and just hearing what you all had to say about this situation in Miss Arionne. And I really had a good time when I let you guys call in and share your thoughts as well. But I wanted to bring you guys another video because I told you all I would give you all my recap of the interview and let you all know my thoughts about it all. So consider this to be that. I thank you all so much for hanging out and checking out yet another video on this fiasco of Love and Marriage Huntsville's mistress, Miss Arionne Curry. Okay. You guys hop down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe for your girl. Okay. And yeah, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at jamithatsme, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.